Okay, so welcome to another episode of Conversations with Kevin, a Living Full project, where we document the lives of individuals that they create lives for themselves and they live by design and not default. So we have the pleasure of Dr. Renata on today. Yeah, a good friend of mine. We've spoke many times. If you follow me for some time, then you've definitely seen this lovely face before. She always brings good value, no bullshit. And today we're going to be talking, well, it's kind of twofold. We'll see where it's going to go, but we're going to talk about this kind of entrepreneurial type thing, this journey. And again, if you follow a lot of social media, then people can have you believe that this kind of thing is easy. This creating this life for yourself can be easy, and that's not necessarily the case. And equally, not to be scared of the challenges that you'll face. And it's important to document these challenges and show these challenges and how people deal with certain things as well, because that way, then they're not a surprise to you when they come. And I think there's some people that are doing fantastically well, but they're not really showing the pain they're going through, the suffering and the challenges in their faces, and how they overcome that, and what the value is. So for me, I don't think there's a lot of value in victories or showing your wins as such. I think there's more value in showing you overcoming your challenges and how we do things. So with no further ado, then I'll shut up and hi Renata, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I have my oils and my everything here to just keep me all excited and ready to go and centered.
Yes. And we were talking just now, just before I kind of hit record, about the sort of the transition that you're going through. And I think people can resonate with that as well, and whether they're transitioning from a career they no longer want, or just changing, just changing tact, or just having a pivot to create something for themselves. So obviously I'll let you kind of talk about that. So, but first of all, maybe could you talk about the pivot, and then probably why as well?
So why I'm doing what I'm doing?
Yeah, why the change? What were you doing, and why is it that you want to, what you just told me, but still.
I'm a doctor of naturopathic medicine, so I've been practicing naturopathic medicine for about almost 6 years now. Damn, I'm getting old. Sorry, I just was like, that's feels like yesterday. Anyways, and it was probably about 3.5 years ago when I was in my almost second year, but I was in full-time practice, and I had zero business background. Okay. Like, I went to school, even going to school, it just was an innate calling. It wasn't something that I really thought through. I just followed my intuition. And that's kind of what my big focus is in life, is listening to what my intuition tells me. And sometimes I think it's freaking insane, but I always honor it because it's never led me the wrong way. So I was called to go to naturopathic medicine. I didn't really know what it was going to be about. And it's actually a business. As a naturopathic doctor in Canada, it's not covered by the government. It is a business. You're an entrepreneur. You are running a business, okay? And I thought I was just a healer, going to help heal people. Nope, I am a businesswoman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So I hustled, and I had zero business background, and I hustled the shit to get where I was. And I was very proud, but it took something. It took me to be uncomfortable 95% of the time. Like, I was literally shitting my pants as I was standing and asking for opportunities and being like, I actually might pass out now. But like, I knew in order to be successful, because I studied people, I realized I was not going to be able to get there if I didn't start to align my mindset and start to do things that were way outside my comfort zone. So I built a successful practice in 2 years, and I remember I was seeing 25 to 30 patients a week. And that's, I'm really proud to say that, not to be like, I'm amazing. I worked my ass off to get there. But the funny thing is, I had this big goal of being like, I want to see 25, 30 patients a week. And all of a sudden I was practicing in 2 places. I still practice in the one place part-time because I absolutely love it there, and I still practice part-time. But I remember sitting in the office and seeing my schedule, and I was like, I'm not happy. Like, I reached my goal that I set out for myself. I worked my butt off, and I'm unfulfilled. I have because I used to struggle with a lot of anxiety. My anxiety is really bad. I can't even go into work without taking these strong Chinese medicine natural herbs. right? And I gained 10 pounds simply from stress. And I was like, this is not what I want. This is not what I signed up for. And I remember being like, but you know, I'm like, universe, I just spent like $1 bajillion and almost 10 years of my life. And like, what are you trying to kill me? Like, but then simultaneously there was that part of me. I tapped in and I sat and I listened to myself. I call it my higher self, like the higher Renata. And higher Renata was like, yeah, so, just so you know, you're called to go here now. And where I was called to go was to speak about my journey. And all I knew deep down inside, I was meant to coach people. I was meant to inspire people, and I was meant to lead other people to live out their purpose. Nice. And I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know, like, I had zero plan, and I still had like $20,000 in student loans, and I quit my full-time practice. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to go follow my gut. And so the first thing I started to do is I'm like, okay, I really got to master my mindset if I'm going to be the coach that I want to be, right? So I just started to venture into personal development. I started taking a bunch of business training courses. I started to, and then I was just like, different people were coming into my life to align me with certain, opportunities and things that I was like, holy shit, this just appeared out of nowhere. And I started getting really uncomfortable in this whole new realm of like spirituality and really trusting the universe more than I ever thought possible. And then, bit by bit, I just kind of fell into realizing I want to coach and inspire a younger version of me and those people who resonate with me, because I want to show people and I want to let people know that, yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. It's not all bunnies and rainbows, but I would not trade where I am, like, if my life depended on it. Like, I would never give that up just for something comfortable or safe, because I know what my mission is. And I know I have a purpose, and I know my purpose is to show other people their purpose. So if I don't show up during the day, even when I'm scared shitless, I'm inhaling, like, I think like a liter of lavender oil. I'm like questioning, like, Renata, have you lost your mind? Even though it feels right, I know that if I don't show up, someone else might not get what they need to get. So I don't make it about me. I make it about who I'm serving. Because when I make it about Renata, I'm gonna just roll around in my bed all day. I'm gonna hide under the covers. I'm gonna roll around in my excuses. I'm gonna just indulge in how like it's not fair, this and this and that. But no, because I'm so focused on my mission, I'm like, how can I make this work? And I'm like, this message is getting out. I don't give a shit what I have to do.
Yeah. How often do you, I love what you just said just something just then about, if I let Renata win, then you'll just have those kind of lazy days and whatever. How often do you, does Renata come out? How often does she win?
The ego?
Yeah.
Lately, she's there right now.
Yeah.
In this conversation, she's there right now being like, oh, you wait till you're done this interview. Right? Yeah, sure. She's always there, but then like the other side of me, like my higher self's always there too. And it's like, I get to, I say to Renata, I go, Renata, I'm like petting my shoulder. The devil and the angel. I'm like, Renata, I understand. You're just scared. You're just trying to keep me safe. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. However, Kevin, if you're going to do anything that really feels right for you, it requires a lot of faith and a lot of patience.
Sure.
And ego Renata has no time for either of those things. So I acknowledge it. I don't pretend that my fears or my doubts aren't there. That's ludicrous. I acknowledge them. I go, okay, I'm feeling that way. That's good. So what can I do to feel the way I want to feel? Or why is that nagging doubt like lingering for these past couple of days? What is that about? And I have a conversation with it. Because it doesn't, like, you should there's days where you're going to feel way more out of your comfort zone than other days. Some days, and you're going to hit plateaus where you're going to be like, oh my God, I feel amazing. Like I did it. And then it's like, you're called to go to the next level. And you're like, honestly, can you just give me 5 minutes to just like be in my comfort zone for, are you kidding me? And I think it's just something I've accepted. I've accepted that voice will never go away. And it certainly does not get quieter when I'm doing big things.
No.
It gets louder, if anything. That's its job. So it's doing a great job. Right?
Yeah. I love that, because there is certain there's definitely value in accepting that as well, accepting the fact that you're going to have, it's there to keep you safe. It has a positive intention behind it.
Yeah.
So and I think we're definitely in an age now where we're not looking to kill this ego or get rid of or turn our back on it. It's actually we work out, how do we have this relationship with it? How do we incorporate it and make us, it makes us whole to have both sides of those things. The higher self and the ego is part of the same thing,
Yeah, ego's healthy. It's about integrating your ego. It's not about pushing it away. People were like, oh, your ego, whatever. It's like, no. Yeah, sorry. If you're going to be a human being, I don't know if you're some other magical creature. Maybe you don't require an ego. But if you're living in this day and age, it's about integrating that ego, integrating that like shadow side of you, that fearful side of you, and honoring it, because it has it has value, but it's your relationship towards your ego.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
I love that. So real. So, okay then. So you were saying that something about anxiety just earlier on, that you suffered with that quite a while.
Yeah.
So, and this is why you were studying, or just after, or? I
suffered with a lot of, in my early 20s, I battled more with depression. And my depression showed up as anxiety, but I was depressed, but I was also dealing with an eating disorder. And my depression showed up more as anger. I was very angry.
Right.
Very angry. But when it was in my like late 20s, I became more anxious. As I kind of I dealt with my eating disorder, I dealt with the depression, but then it kind of transformed into an anxiety, because I had to go into this whole entrepreneurial journey that I had no idea I signed up for.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And it's like, business is actually the perfect opportunity to grow. It's the perfect self-development course you're going to get in life.
For sure.
And my anxiety was really around kind of like not being good enough. So I had a lot of anxiety. I had that imposter syndrome. I had that, who the hell do I think I am? And I just felt like it was never enough. And that triggered a lot of anxiety, because I put a lot of pressure on myself that I created. And I felt like, and then simultaneously, I always felt like I couldn't fulfill that expectation I had of myself, which created a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
And I was also very concerned about looking good. Not like my appearance wise, but I mean in terms of saying the right thing, doing the right thing, looking successful, looking like I'm, succeeding, and, saying like pleasing people and making sure I'm winning people over. But that created a lot of anxiety, because then I kind of started to lose who I really was. And that's predominantly another reason why I quit and I ventured into this journey, quit full-time practice, because I was like, who the hell have I become?
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of showing up and practicing in a way that others maybe want me to, but it's not really exciting me. And I think you should be doing things no matter what you do. We're all going to have to do things in life that's going to require you to eat a shit sandwich.
Yeah, sure.
And it's going to require you to work your ass off. And there's going to be really hard times, but you get to choose what that is. And you might as well have really a lot of fun, and you better be passionate about it. Just because you love what you're doing, it doesn't mean that it's going to be easy.
No, definitely not. No. In fact, it makes it bearable when you can realign yourself with that purpose, isn't it? Like you were saying, you can get yourself out of the way. And those tough times when you can focus on, okay, this is the reason why I'm doing, and reconnect with that, then that can save your ass sometimes, that's for sure.
Yeah, so the anxiety, back to the anxiety, it's like I was being anxious because it was really hard for me to keep up with this identity that wasn't really authentic to me. It was exhausting.
Where do you think the identity came from?
I think it was just, I don't know. I think back when I started out, naturopathic medicine, I don't know what it's like in the rest of the world, but in Canada, you're kind of seen like, we're kind of fighting to show up as like like some people are like, oh, they don't take us seriously. Some people really do value naturopathic medicine. Some people don't. So I think it was my ego to be like proving like I'm good enough. Like I'm a doctor. Like, look at me, I'm accomplished. Like,
yeah, sure.
What does that even mean, right? And I think at the time, our profession has come a long way and people really value and respect natural medicine. But back a couple of years ago, even like 10 years ago when I was in school, it was still something that you were trying to fight for, you know? And I think it was like trying to prove myself and prove that I'm like I'm still a great doctor. Yeah,
sure.
And then other people questioning like, so like, what exactly do you do? And then my ego has no like, oh, and my ego would be like, excuse me?
Yeah.
Do you, like, but now I don't react that way. I think it was just trying to prove myself, prove that I was good enough.
Yeah. So how did you do?
Society, that comes from, the media. That comes from all my life experiences, events, of the things that I made mean, right?
Yeah. So how did you deal with your anxiety in particular then?
At the time I started getting more into yoga. And I used to be I used to do a lot of high intensity and cardio. So I still exercise a lot because exercise is just like the most natural antidepressant, anti-anxiety medication that we have out there. So if you're not moving your body, like I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, sure.
So having a movement practice, but yoga was very important to me because I just felt called to do it. And it wasn't something so aggressive. I had to start, it allowed me to move my body, but also it allowed me to get in touch with like my soul. So it was like a 2-for-1 and sure. I'm all about efficiency.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I was just called to do it. So meditation, yoga, also like doing acupuncture, taking my natural herbs and remedies. I'm very blessed, like I said, and grateful that I have this knowledge. So I know natural things to take to support my mental health and my mood. And also just surrounding myself with people that can really support me and want to see me win, and I want to see them win. So I feel like you need a really strong support system. Like you could do all the movement, take all the herbs, but connection's huge, and the right connection's huge.
Yeah, sure. No, that's true. It's funny, no matter how many conversations I have with people, then it always comes around, everything comes around. We talk about environment, but it's the same thing. It's that human connection with other people is really it's paramount to your own success, really, because if you're surrounded, with all the best intention in the world, if you're surrounded by ourselves, then you're going to be one yourself at some point, you know.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Yeah. So, so what's next then?
For me?
Yeah, what's next? So you've come from your the naturopathic career. Now you're going into the coaching, and we were talking just before, and it seems like you're leveling up again, which is causing a massive amount of anxiety, right? And doubt and fear, and the ego's like screaming at you at this point in time. How do you for anybody watching this, how are you managing this at the moment? I know you said you're doing your, it's funny, the devil and the angel or the higher self. I love that kind of the conversation. Do those two ever talk? And you stay out of the way?
Yeah. Three of us have conversations all the time.
All the time. Yeah, sure.
All the time. Like we have to summon a group meeting. Yeah. So right now it's something what I've been called from 3 years ago is to be this. I really see myself speaking all over the world.
Right.
I really see myself speaking all over the world. Right now, I'm working more with one-on-one clients, more like wellness entrepreneurs, healers, and coaches who have like a spiritual wellness-based business. And I'm creating a mastermind, and I do the one-on-one coaching. And it's centering about getting in alignment, working on your mindset, and then having the right systems and marketing in place.
Sure.
And the success habits. So it's not just like have your brand or have this. It's like, no, a holistic business course that I wish I had when I was out there and what I feel is really missing.
Sure. Yeah.
Because you can have all the systems, but if your mindset's shit, forget it. You can have the mindset, but if you don't have the right systems, it's not going to work. If you're not aligned, forget about it. Nothing will work.
Nothing will work. No.
So it's kind of my own journey and what I want to share with people, and I feel really excited to right now. And that's going to evolve. I know it's going to evolve. I see that becoming like an evergreen course, like a program that people can sign up with. And then eventually, like, I don't know where it's going to go, but I know I'll be speaking all around the world.
Yeah.
Maybe write a book. I don't know.
Yeah. So there's two things I want to talk on, but maybe the alignment is probably a bigger piece, but then so we'll come back to that. So you said something about, you don't know. So how do you, because this is the one thing that the ego definitely wants, right? And that's certainty. It wants to know what's going on. And like we said prior to us recording this, is there's a lot, it seems to be like an ongoing theme among people that I'm speaking to, and it's being comfortable in that uncertainty and really knowing that it's okay, and checking in with yourself and actually almost challenging, your own beliefs. The proof is in the pudding. Now you've got to be, like you said, patient and have faith and everything else. So how are you managing that?
So, like I said, this is my higher self talking now.
Hey.
So what I'm going through right now, Kevin, I really recognize that it's all part of me being able to better help the people that I'm meant to serve. And this extreme discomfort, this extreme uncertainty is simultaneously, I'm like, you asked for it. It's fine. It's all part of the plan. And I get that in my core, and I know that in my core. And I think it's really good to know where you're going and have a vision. But one of my mantras is like, I know where I'm going, but I'm always open to what the universe wants to offer me.
Sure. Nice.
Because I've learned in life, I thought there was a lot of things. Like by the age of 4, I thought I was going to go to the Olympics and be a figure skater.
Yeah.
By the age of 12, I was like, I want to be a volleyball player. By the age of, 22, I thought I was going to be a teacher. Then I'm going to be a naturopath. And I'm going to, you know what I mean? So I feel like our calling or our purpose in life, our mission is the same, but it sometimes just evolves and looks different.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And that's what I've learned. And that's what I've just accepted. So yeah, my ego, when it's screaming for certainty, I always read books. So like I'll read Jensen Cincherno. Is it Cincherno or Cincero or this one? You Are a Badass.
I've not seen that. No, is it any good?
Love it. You should read it.
Okay.
She's basically like, she talks like how I do, like drops F-bombs. She's like, it's very relatable. Cool. So obviously I relate to that. Yeah. So I read those books every day. I have angel cards that I sometimes pull when I'm like, universe, give me a sign. And it gives me all the right signs. And I'm still like freaking out. And the universe is like, how many more signs do you need? Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
So I read books every day, and I journal sometimes, and I reflect every week. I reflect in my journal once a week, and I have like alignment prompts, like, what did you do this week? Like, how are you feeling? What got in your way? Like, what are victories? Because I think it's really important just to check in and see where you're at, because you're like, another big thing about alignment is like, alignment is your self-awareness too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because if I know what my weaknesses are, I know what my strengths are, I can honor them. And then I ask for help too, instead of trying to do all the shit that I'm not good at by myself.
Yeah.
And then I'll sometimes just reach out to a friend. I'd be like, I know everything's going to be okay, but I just want you to like hold my hand right now and tell me everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course.
And then I also still do my yoga. I still exercise like a machine. And I have my oils, I have my essential oils that I smell. I have my crystals, but I still take, the biggest thing though is with all the discomfort and all the lack of certainty, I ask myself this question, I go, Renata, if you were the best in your industry, how would you show up right now?
Nice.
I ask myself that question every day. So when I'm shitting my pants, when I'm like, oh my God, I'm like gonna pass out, when I question who the hell I am, I ask myself that question, because if I'm the expert, I wouldn't be rolling around thinking I'm not good enough. I wouldn't be going all in. I wouldn't be looking at the best ways how I can get my message out there. If I didn't consider myself the expert, or if I didn't have the life that I, envision myself to have. Does that make sense? Because how you act today will build your future.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And that question really centers me.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's a really cool question. And that also, actually, that's a beautiful segue. And we were talking into alignment anyway, with you kind of touched on it just then as well. So why is alignment so important?
Oh my gosh, I could do like 4 hours of this. I think alignment's really important because alignment keeps you centered on your truth and on your purpose and what lights you up and what brings you the most meaning in life. Because if you're chasing external goals, you can still have your goals, okay? They're fine. But if they're not in alignment with your purpose, with your happiness, with your fulfillment, what's the point of your goals?
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like if you don't become aligned with what you want, and you're not aligned in your actions, you're not aligned in your mindset, I really feel like you do not allow yourself to live your fullest life. In alignment, for me, it's really about what feels good.
Sure.
It's what feels good, and whatever is your truth, and your truth will evolve over time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and alignment is also the gifts that you have to offer the world. And if that's your point of being a human being. We all have something to contribute. Nothing is, and no one is better than anyone else. I don't give a shit if someone has $3 million and someone's making $50,000 a year. It doesn't matter, like, the amount of money you make or the amount of recognition you have, because we all are, like, all of our successes are actually connected with each other.
Sure. Oh, I like that. Oh, nice. Yeah.
If I went to Starbucks and I didn't have my Starbucks barista giving me my coffee and saying, "Hey, Renata, how are you today?" Like, that brings me joy. They don't realize the difference that they make. And I really appreciate everyone's role and what they do, because if we didn't have my Starbucks, how am I going to get my coffee? That's the place where I go and do my work. So I can go and create the things that I want to. So, like, the Starbucks people are helping me and support my mission. I'm helping Starbucks. Like, I don't know why I use Starbucks. I love Starbucks. They're not paying me, by the way. They should. Where was I going with this? Yeah, I really do feel that way. I really, really do feel that way. And that's why, for me, your title doesn't really matter. No. To be honest with you. You can have a really good title and degree, but it's the value you add. It's not the value you think you are.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. That's a meme. There's about 3 or 4 of them. I can write that down, but I'm glad I'm recording this so I can.
Make sure you quote me, though.
Of course I'll quote you, Ren. Of course.
I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding, though.
No, of course I will. But yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And it's funny that you say about this, what feels good to you. And it's also, what's important is that it's not fixed, like you alluding to. It's not fixed, it's fluid. And it does take shape, and it does take on different forms, and it will require different kind of levels of yourself as well, which I'm finding, which is quite interesting. Yeah.
I don't think it's like a fixed destination. Your purpose isn't a fixed destination. It's just you becoming your highest expression of who you are. And the most successful route to getting to that highest expression of who you are is alignment.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. And it's funny, isn't it? It's interesting that everything else, those things that you say that you want or that you think that you want because it will give you something, if those things kind of just fall underneath him, when you and things just miraculously happen. I read a great, I'm not even sure, I think I posted it in my story on Instagram, and it's like, it's not luck. You're in alignment. It's not like things that happen. You're not in luck. You're in alignment, and that makes perfect sense when things just drop in. Because you have, I don't know, is it a mixture of faith or is it a mixture? I'm not sure. You can't really, for me, I really struggle to articulate what alignment is. I just know that it definitely feels good. And it has a certain sort of power and energy to it when I do it. Like, I just came back from Bali and I had no idea of the results that I couldn't envisage the results that these people got. They were way beyond my comprehension, and but that is one of the things of creating an environment that allows for that alignment to just flow through and let it do its thing, you know? So it's just about recognizing those things and doing that. And it's so easy to get distracted in the same breath and and do something that's what is deemed as a quick win, or so you believe it to be, which normally takes you down a spiral of like just a load of wasted time or whatever. And it's there to specifically designed to knock you out of alignment. I'm grateful for those times too, though, because you have to.
Like, you thought you were going to win easily.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, idiot. And now go back to what you're doing. Okay, you failed that test. That's okay. Carry on. Yeah, and then build again. So there's like an ebb and flow. Why do you think it is that you can't stay in alignment?
That's a great question. We can't always, because we're not. Nothing's ever fixed. We're constantly. It's nature. It's universe. It's the universe. It's constantly growing and evolving, millisecond by millisecond. You can every moment it's like to the next one. So if you're in alignment, you're always going to be in and out of alignment. Your job is to, when you get out of alignment, recognize you're out and get back in.
True.
That's the game of life. It's like a ping pong. It's like out of alignment, in alignment, out of alignment, you know? And that's just the challenge. And it's just about getting back into alignment faster when you fall out. It's not about having to, by the way, actually you could, there's that one piece. So you will fall in and out, but it's like, you're still like, there's this underlying alignment, but there will be moments where you kind of feel like you're out, but you're still aligned to that mission and calling.
True. Yeah.
That makes sense. Cause like I know I'm so aligned with where I'm going. Like I just have unshakable faith. Regardless of how anxious or doubtful or whatever I will feel at times. Like my higher self will always be like, just calm your ass down. You're on the right track. Like, just take a breath. Smell some freaking oils.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm on alignment with my path. Just there's moments where, the universe will be like, how bad do you want it? And I think the more I don't think any moment is by accident. I think it's all designed to help us. Yeah, it's just designed to help us evolve into who we're supposed to be. And that's what I really look at too. That's another big mindset shift that I have when I'm feeling a lot of uncertainty and when like my ego might like take the microphone with my thoughts. And then I just have to flip back and be like, this situation is just helping me grow. And right now I just don't understand why or how. And I look back in retrospect, Kevin, I always am like, I get that. Okay, cool. I'm so glad I'm not there right now.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
That really anchors me forward too. It's that quote. It's like, Renata, if you were the expert in your field, how would you show up today? And the whole, like, this is teaching you something, even though you don't understand it right now, Renata, it's never not been for a really good reason.
For sure. And equally, you need that contrast too, right? Otherwise you wouldn't even know when you are and when you're not. Yeah, like,
no, like you can't just be, and that, look, I don't even want to get started because I don't want to offend people, and I know people.
Do it. I know. Let's offend them. Fuck them.
I know people are doing the best they can and people have really good intentions, but when I think about spiritual, and I remember I posted that quote, how you sprinkle love and light. Like I consider myself a very loving, fierce person who wants the best for humanity. But when people are then posting this really unachievable or unrealistic image, and I'm here to shatter that. That's why my brand's really like, no fucking bullshit. Because I want to show people that it creates this like false, because even though you and I are aware of it, there's a lot of people who see that and think, oh my God, well, I'm not as love and light. I'm not as compassionate. I'm not like whatever. And I'm not handling with grace. Like there's something wrong with me. And it's like, no, there's not anything wrong with you. It's impossible to constantly be, your emotions are good. Even your really shitty ones. And even your really nasty ones. They're all there to, like, again, it's about integrating them. It's not about pretending or just being like love and light all over it. Because if you don't recognize that nasty ass part of you and understand why it's there, you will not be able to have the same appreciation for your like love and light and awesomeness.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. To be to the point where I don't trust those that kind of admit that, because it didn't, for me, it doesn't think that you're on a hiding. You're either going to have a massive breakdown or you're like a sociopath or something.
Yes!
So yeah, right. That's the only two options. That's the only two options. Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. There's moments where that's the stuff I get triggered by. I'm not going to lie. But I just have to be very mindful of Renata. They're just like, they're going through a real hard time because they feel like they can't authentically express who they are. And I feel for them.
True.
I really feel for them. Yet at the same time, it really gets my ego fired up.
Yeah. No, you're right. You have to acknowledge that dark side. I think it's funny because in the personal development field, it was very much, even I can remember being part of a group when everyone was full of these sort of smiles, and they're just like, wow, there must be something wrong with me because I don't feel like this guy here, like smiling at me, looking like a clown, and I can see that's a fake. Like you can feel it, right? You can be like, this isn't right. Yeah, how are you? I'm great. Oh, no, you're not. No, you're not. I just. It just...
That was even like on our phone call we got on today. I was like, I just need to get my anxieties out of the way before I had this conversation because I need that out of my space.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to be like, everything's great.
Yeah. No. You need to ground yourself, and it comes across. It seeps out of you energetically.
Yeah.
So yeah. Interesting. So what else?
Do you want to like what?
No, I'm just having to think. Okay. I wanted to say to you specifically. So alignment, we've covered alignment. We've covered you're going into these systems and processes. Talk to me a bit about your actual. I love that you're very focused on the individual that you want to work with, and the product that you're delivering. You said something about you wanting to deliver the product that you wish you could have got hold of when you were first coming up. And when you talk about targeting this specific individual, or for want of, I hate using this word, but your sort of avatar of the individual that you want, how have you how did you know? How did you come to knowing that that's the specific audience or individual that you wanted to work with, or people?
Well, it's funny. Well, when you work with a bunch of coaches and they're like, this is the person, Renata, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
It's really, I think anyone who's in any type of business, it's likely your avatar is a younger version of who you are.
Nice. Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying it's that by default, but it's usually we're the experts in the things that maybe we struggled with or overcame. For sure. So for me, my avatar was, it was just a younger version of myself. So when I'm speaking, it gives me the freedom to just show up authentically. Cause I'm like, if I want to attract that type of person, I have to show up like me because I'm targeting a younger version of me. Yeah. And I'm going to be honest with you. It was scary at first when I started doing this because I was like, what if no one resonates? Like, what if I'm the only one that experiences it? And trust me, I stalled on taking action for a while because I was too freaking scared shitless to be rejected or to not have the response that I thought I wanted or needed. Yeah. And then I got just so tired. I'm like, you know what? I just don't give a shit. I'm just going to go for it. Yeah. And I was amazed about how many messages I got from people being like, holy shit, like, were you reading my mind? And I was like, no. Yeah. And it brought me a lot of joy because I was like, okay, good. Like, this is making a difference for someone. Even if these people will never pay me or never work with me, it brings me a lot of joy. Like that, as human beings, I think we value recognition more than we value money. True. I still want money so I can do the things that I want to do and live the life that I want to live and make the difference I want to make. But I think just taking that risk Because usually if you let your fear be your compass, it can really point you in the right direction. And because I knew how terrified I was to share that side of me, I knew it was also the right thing to do.
To do. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
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 And hey, I relate to not just younger versions of Renata. It's men, it's like women who aren't in business. It's just human beings, right? So I feel like, but if you're focused on your message, it just allows people to get a lot of clarity of what to expect from you. And I think that's a responsibility as an entrepreneur, because when people are confused what you do, they don't really know what benefit you'll offer them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So that's just the business side, right? Just being in alignment with my brand. So I'm very clear who I'm serving, what I'm committed to, and also so people know what's expected. Because if people aren't clear what you do, no one's going to want to work with you, because you're like, I don't really know what you do exactly.
Mm-hmm.
How you can help me, then you don't have you don't have a sustainable, successful business. So like that's also why. But again, at the end of the day, Kevin, like, and at the beginning when you're starting out, I think it's really important to really niche down and be very clear on one target. And I know as I evolve and grow, I will open this up more to the masses. I know I will. Like the universe has already given me some opportunities where I've had a lot of males be like, why the hell aren't you going to have males in your program? And I was like,
sure. Yeah.
Oh, it's just my brand. So,
I've said to you before. Yeah.
Right. And even my father was like, why only women? And I was like, Dad, this is like the business side of it right now. He's like, because like, what about us too? And I was like, I've probably heard that about 10 times. So that's why I know that my message isn't just to a younger version with Renata. It's whoever's experiencing that at the moment. And that's where my future, I see it going.
Yeah, sure. Nice. Yeah. No, that's really key. That's really key too. And it's you were saying something about the men, because I think our message or how we come across or whatever it is, there's the resonance isn't necessarily, it's kind of sexless. It's more soul, I guess, for one of another word. I think there's some of the people that there's a definite, okay, let's take how we met, Alchemy Tribe, right? There's something that what I do is very different to what you do, but there's something that connects us that has, there's something there, and you can't really, which is in and of itself is the niche. I guess, there's something that we're all trying to do that. And what does Matt say? Something about, the documenting the entrepreneur struggle and this, that, and the other. But it comes from a very mindful place, and we want to impact others. And there's some similarities there. Not, I'm a man, you're a woman. It's bigger than that, I think.
Yeah. But like, I guess just for my business, for branding purposes, for right now, when you want to position yourself as an expert, the more focused you are when you're starting out in something, it's because if I'm talking to everybody, no one's going to be like, who's she talking to? Like, we're Tony Robbins. He could be like, oh yeah, he's already built his name. But so that's why behind it. So people don't feel like I'm just trying to segregate humans.
No. Oh, no, of course not. But interesting you talking about, I'm going to talk about the niche and then segregating a bit, though, because for me, the Tony Robbins type of thing, although he's obviously still extremely successful and still a massive brand, I think that's not played out. I wouldn't ever dare say that, but I think coming to someone like yourself or myself or someone a bit smaller, you get that. Tony Robbins has built this thing up where he is now like I don't even know who he goes to for whatever, for counseling or coaching, whatever. I'm sure he sees people, but he's almost like on this pedestal now, and he's almost looked like this kind of he's so big that you can't, there's no real, I don't have any human connection with him. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay.
Do you see what I mean? And whereas, Renata says she's stressed out and she's pissed off and she does this and this. I get that connection. I think, it's real to me. Whereas Tony doesn't see, again, that whole polished thing for me doesn't, as we move through with the times, I think there's plenty of business and there's plenty of people for everybody, and whoever resonate, again, going down to that resonance, I have that connection with you because of something that you may have said over and above something that seems more, for want of another word, cookie cutter. I'm not using him as an example, but there seems to be in this space, especially in the personal development space, I think there's definitely a shift, whereas people are looking for things that you have to show up and show your thing, and show your vulnerability. Whereas before, some of these bigger guys they tell their story and it's real and it's genuine, but it's kind of, that's a little tidbit for you, so you kind of like me or I resonate with you, and then that's it, whereas this is it's more ongoing. That sharing and that vulnerability and oh shit, I fucked up, I've had this challenge or whatever it is an ongoing thing now. It's not just to get you through the door or get your email address or anything like that. It's
like I think you it doesn't matter if someone's on your email, if someone's at my event now, if I'm working with 5 people, if I have 5 women in my mastermind, if I have 25, like that's a human being you're dealing with. And they this one year I've really learned to appreciate the fact that they're choosing their time is money. Attention is of like the essence. So if someone says that they give you a second of their attention, you better respect that. And you know what pisses me off more than anything? And by the way, I'm not perfect. I'm sure I've missed DMs and I've missed like replying personally to comments, but nowadays people are so fucking concerned about their recognition and about like their likes and their comments and whatever. I get it. It's a dopamine hit in the brain. But when I look at people's content, if they have 10,000 followers, but their engagement is shit, and they don't even like reply back to their comments ever, or even send a freaking heart sometimes.
Yeah.
Like someone's like taking the time to give you like recognition. It's like, you better respect that.
Yeah.
And that's again, what my values are. And I really stand by that. Instead of like, yeah, I'm amazing.
Yeah. That's the other thing. I think that's why people come to you as well, because it's on your values. Well, if you put those out, then those people that share the same values will come to you. Regardless if they're younger, older, different gender, whatever, race, whatever, they all come.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, and it breaks my heart, Kevin, again, that there's a lot of people on the social media world, and even the people some of them that I know get so caught up in the comparison trap, and they're so mesmerized by I'm like, there's people I know have thousands of followers are making like pennies. They're not making any fucking money. Do you want 1,000,000 followers, or do you want success in like actually making some meaningful goddamn difference?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
right.
And it breaks my heart when people still get really mesmerized by that. And I see some accounts and I'm like, oh, and then like, again, my ego gets really triggered. But then I say, Renata, you can either bitch about that, or what are you going to do? Like what message are you going to put out there? Because I can't control what people are doing. And everyone has a right, even if I don't agree with it, because there are the people who can't stand me. And that's fine. Like we all have a right. And if that's their truth, I always believe if that's aligned with you, you have every right to say about it. It doesn't mean necessarily it's right and wrong because I don't agree with it. So I also like have that perspective, and I can have that, like, I just am like, whatever. And I just stay focused on like, what message do I want to put out? Because I can't control other people's messages. And bitching about it doesn't make a difference. Yeah, I bitch for like 5 minutes and then I like move forward.
Then move on. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay, so I've got 2 questions. So, maybe 2. What is the one thing that you would say to anybody that's coming up and thinking about doing what you're doing, I guess, or going out for themselves and thinking, I'm going to follow my purpose, I want to do this, I've got a message? What is the key thing that you would say to them?
There's a few things. So I would say patience. Patience. And like, you have to have lots of patience. There is doing the work is a shortcut.
Sure. Yeah.
So be patient, and you have to have so much faith that no matter what is thrown at you, you got to really work on honoring your faith and trusting what you're called to do, no matter, again, what is thrown at you. And if you have patience and faith, you're unstoppable.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just are.
Yeah.
Not saying that you're not going to like sometimes have mental breakdown and cry for hours. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just honoring how you feel. But it's really, if you're called to do something and you have the kahunas to go after it, the universe does really reward the brave. I really believe that.
True. This is true. Yeah. Yeah. And finally then, what does living full mean to you?
Living full means to me, living full, what that means to me is doing the things that bring me the most joy. And that's not just, and living full is not just what your career.
No.
It's not. That's the beautiful gift that you can express to the world and give the world, but it's also living full is spending those moments with your friends and family, spending those moments with yourself and getting reconnected, doing the things that bring you joy, which is either watching some cheesy ass Netflix movie and being a human being, to like going and eating some sloppy ass burritos that just get all over your pants. That's what living full is.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's about enjoying your coffee. It's about really appreciating the moments. Yeah, that's what it is to me. That's
great. Renata, as always, you can always come with the fires. You always bring your A game, and yet you were worried that you were not going to be on point today. So I really appreciate you for showing up and getting out your pajamas, putting some makeup on.
I was like, am I going to be on video? You're like, yeah. I'm like,
yeah. And sharing that. Again, I always value your time, and you always bring masses and masses of value to not just to me, but to people that I share your content with. So I'd like to thank you very much for that as well.